Let me just give you some hand sanitizer. There you go.
Cheers, man.
We have to be safe. Alright, Sam, so let's go through this.
I think that last stall was a mistake. That last one just there, that one was a big one.
Yeah. Watch that curve, Sam. Sam, you're gonna hit. You're gonna hit. I wanna stop you. I got one for you. Come this way. Come this way, yeah. More turning, more turning. Alright, cool.
Another question I have is to do with maneuvers.
Yeah.
How many maneuvers am I likely to have to do in a test?
Okay.
And which one is most likely?
Okay, so there's. Hi guys, welcome to FM Driving School. You're with me, your fully qualified driving instructor, FM. Today's video is quite important because I'm sure, just like my student today, you guys are in the same situation where you haven't been driving for about 3 months due to the lockdown. An unfortunate situation to be in, but how does it affect your driving? Well, the answer is in this video. We're going to see Sam drive, our student, and let's see how he gets on. Before we start, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Click the button for all the videos on our driving in order to help you pass your driving test. Before we start, Sam, just show me or explain to me how do you know the ABS isn't working?
You would show me on the dashboard.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Whenever you're ready, start the car. We're going to go out the test center gate on the left and then straight away follow the sat nav.
Cool.
Go for it.
Turn left, Fleming Way. Then, at the end of the road, turn left. Turn left, Worden Road. Then, cross the roundabout and take the first exit. Cross the roundabout and take the first exit.
Here we go. Within the first minute, Sam committed a major fault by not looking thoroughly to the right on a roundabout. If you watch our other videos about common mistakes, we talk about how the first 5 to 10 minutes is really crucial because students are more likely to make a mistake. Then, check it out anyway, but let's carry on watching the video.
After 200 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, Bridge Road.
Sam committed another fault by moving across to the left side without checking his left mirror. As an examiner now, I could give it a fault, or I could now be watching him a bit more thoroughly as an indication of what's to come in his driving
Take the
test.
second exit.
When it's safe, Sam, show me how you put the windows up and down, please.
Yeah. That's up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Up.
You'll be asked to show one of the show me tell me questions while you're driving. Here the student was able to demonstrate safely how to operate the windows. Now it would be better if he didn't look down, but it was still safe.
After 200 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, Bridge Road. Then, at the end of the road, turn left. Cross the roundabout and take the second exit. Then, at the end
If there's any mistakes that I didn't spot, comment below. And if you haven't taken a driving test yet, or you have taken a driving test, let me know about your experiences. What are the mistakes that you make or you have made? Like, what were the major faults and what were the common mistakes that you are making?
At the end of the road, turn left, A350.
Here the student indicated, then checked his mirrors.
Turn right.
Remember, the routine is MSM. I'm not going to give it a fault just yet, but as an examiner, we're going to be watching him a bit more thoroughly to make sure he does it in the correct order.
Turn right.
You have to understand, from an examiner's point of view, when we see a mistake committed, we're now going to watch you in the same area to see if you're going to commit the same mistake again. So you're giving us an opportunity to fault you or to watch you thoroughly. So don't give away these little mistakes. Have it in the right order, the correct order, the routine, and the examiner wouldn't be watching you too thoroughly. Here I was watching out for my student to check his mirrors as soon as he got to a new road. Slightly delayed, but he did it.
After 300 yards, turn right, Kingsley Road. Turn right, Kingsley Road.
We've literally saved ourselves from getting a major fault. The student was about to roll off, but then changed his mind, and correctly so. We're not in the middle of the road, so we're still not blocking anyone's path. It's better to stop and stay safe on the cycle lane. Now, it's a minor fault, but he should have planned ahead. He should have noticed there was only room for 2 cars in the middle of the road. What if the lights were about to change, which they did? Therefore, we should have waited behind the cycle lane. A minor fault for now. Someone's a little bit slow moving off, therefore possibly slowing down the car in front of us, but luckily we made it in time. But that was the reason why I was looking at the car in front, to make sure that he didn't slow them down. Okay, that's the end of the sat-nav, Sam. From now on, just follow my directions.
Right.
Take this road on the left, please.
Elmsworth.
Yes, please. Turn left at the end of the road. Our lane position was really bad, so as we turned into the road, the back of the car clipped the curb. The examiner now may give it a major fault. I've been a little bit generous because we were quite slow. I'm going to give it a minor fault, but someone else probably will give it a major fault. Up to the examiner's discretion now. Turn right at the traffic lights. Turn right at the next road here. End of the road, turn right. If you notice, Sam pressed the brake about a second later. There was pedestrians around us, so I was thinking about the pedestrians. Had they been right behind us, I would have pressed the brake first,
on the
and
left
then
here,
it would have
please.
been a major fault. But luckily for him, he pressed it in time. That's fine. Let's stop the car here, please. Stop the car. Okay. Let's do the parallel park on this car or the reverse parking. Okay, move on from here, please. Turn right at the end of the road. Let's just quickly talk about the maneuver itself now, since we just did it. If you notice, we asked the student to pull up and he didn't check his left mirror, his inside mirror. Now it's actually quite serious now because he's moved across without checking. Somebody else could have given it a major fault, but from my point of view now, I'm thinking this is too often. You're not checking your mirrors. Now it's become at a stage where it's really bad. So we're given a minor fault, but now the examiner's not really happy in this situation because it's happened too many times. And then we did the maneuver, we didn't check our right blind spot as we turned left, so that's a major fault in itself. Next traffic lights, turn left, please. Now, do you guys see how a small fault adds up, accumulates? So if you're constantly doing the same mistake as we were doing, moving across without checking our mirrors, now we've actually done it on a major road with traffic behind us. We moved across, and Sam did check his mirrors, but way too late. He moved first, then checked. What are the dangers? What if there was a car, a bike, a motorbike, whatever coming across, and he's moved across without checking? So now we've actually practically made a huge mistake on a main road. Major fault straight away. Turn left at the traffic lights. Again, another no mirror checks here, but luckily for Sam, we're already in the correct lane, so again, I've kind of let him off with their fault here. Again, what am I gonna do with Sam? Such a nice
Turn
guy,
right at the
but
traffic
he's
lights.
moved and then checked. Major fault straight away. No letting off here.
Turn right at the traffic lights.
Well, I'm just Sam to realize that the indicator wasn't on and he quickly put it back on in time. Let's just talk about the stalling. Stalling is not a problem as long as it's safe, so we stall it at the traffic lights behind the lines. Now, it's how you react to the stall, so if you brake, clutch down, quickly restart the car, as long as you don't roll back and, you know, or if you did roll back and no one's around you but you were safe enough to stop the car, then therefore it's fine. You get a minor fault, not a major fault. As we're driving in a straight road, let's just quickly talk about some of the mistakes. The clear and obvious ones are the mirror checking. So credit to Sam, he does check his mirrors every time he gets into a new road. He's checking it often enough that we're happy with. As an examiner, very impressive. But then at the vital situations, when moving across, when pulling up, etc., he's not doing it. So just bear that in mind. Look, again, you can see he's checking his mirrors, but the vital situations he's not doing it. So it's become a major fault. Twice he's moved across without checking. Stalling is not a problem as long as you're safe. As I said, brake, clutch down. One time there was pedestrians around us, so had they been behind us, I would have taken action and stopped the car myself. Again, he saved himself from getting a major fault. We also made a major fault or serious fault when we did the maneuver and didn't check off our right blind spot, but the maneuver itself was really well done, really smooth and correctly. And there was one situation where we were at a crossroad turning right, we were a little bit slow and stopping on the cycle lane. Again, you should plan ahead. There was another situation where we were in the incorrect gear as we were turning. Don't forget, we also hit the curb and Sam didn't even realize. All these small little mistakes, they add up and they show us the inexperience of the driver. So as an examiner, we're now thinking, alright, is he really safe enough to pass a driving test? That's what we're thinking. Put the major faults in one box, forget that we made them. Even the minor faults, they were really adding up. The lights did change quite quickly, but it was actually a safer decision to stop, and it was slightly sudden, but not too dangerous. And unfortunately, we stalled again because he accidentally went into the wrong gear, or thought he went to neutral and took his foot off the clutch. That's not a big problem.
Just park up on the left, Sam. Don't worry about the driveway on this occasion. Okay. Move off from here, Sam. Pull up on the left again, please. And move off from here once more.
So there's an example of a student doing the 6-point check properly, then having to wait for the traffic and then do the 6-point check again because we've waited a bit of time. So as an examiner, this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see as a teacher. This is what we've taught as a teacher. But because we're not applying it consistently, that's why in the exam here, why did I pull him up straight away? Because he didn't do it properly. So I wanted to double check to see if he's going to do it again. Clearly he knows his stuff, but then again, Sam, you've let me down by not checking your mirrors when you pulled up. So the first time I've given you a minor fault, I've kind of let you off. I'm trying to be generous, I'm trying to be a nice guy. Because you checked the inside mirror, I've kind of allowed you, but it could have been a major the first time around. The second time, no checks, and now it's become a major fault.
Turn left on
So
the
even the
roundabout.
first time, I could have even given it a major fault. But anyway, mirror checks, please.
Okay, let's take the next road on the right. Let's pull up on the left after the truck, please, Sam. Don't worry about the driveway on this occasion. And let's go after the car as well. Let's go after the car.
Not onto the curb.
No. That's fine. Perfect. Let's stop here, please. Secure the car and turn the engine off. Okay. That's it. That's the end of the test.
And that's the end of the driving mock test. We want to start off by saying thank you to Sam for taking part in the mock test. He done exceptional and really brave of him, because a mock test isn't easy. Remember, you had your driving lessons, now you're having full responsibility in driving without any help from myself, your teacher. Even if you got a license, say if you passed recently and you start driving on the road, it's still going to be daunting, because now you're driving independently by yourself without the extra pair of eyes, or that extra experienced driver sitting next to you. So for my student who took part in this mock test, and for those of you who are learning to drive and watching this video, hopefully that was a really useful video to watch, seeing the mistakes, seeing the common mistakes, seeing how you can make one little mistake, and then as an examiner we start watching you a bit more thoroughly. Also notice how, because it's a mock test or even your own driving test, students become so focused. They're focusing so much of trying to do the right things at the first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes, or even right near the end, that you guys become a little bit complacent and therefore commit the major fault, as you've seen in this example in this particular video. But anyway, so now we're going to analyze it a little bit further with Sam himself. But before we go into that, make sure you click the button, like it, share it, and subscribe.
Okay. You alright?
Yeah.
Let's go through this.
I think that last stall was a mistake. That last one, that one was a big one.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go through a few things. Common mistake as a teacher as well, I'm seeing. Firstly, mirror checks are, half of it is really good. When you get into a new road, you're checking all your mirrors. So I'm really happy with that. But at the same time, you're not doing the MSM routine correctly. So your signal, then a couple of car lengths later, you double check. You'll check. You wouldn't even double check. Then you'll check. So a few times I've let you off because you did check in the end, but the other few times you weren't checking at all. And so it became quite consistent, and then it just added up. Now I'm going to give you a major fault. So make sure the routine: mirror, signal, maneuver. You check your mirrors. So if you're turning right, it'll be interior right. Even just a slight movement when you're going through meeting scenarios, you weren't checking that. And then a few times it became a major because you've actually, like for example, there was a bus. I think you remember, you moved, then you checked. Do you remember you overtaking that bus?
Got to check first.
Yeah, so I've given you a major fault for that. And there was another, before that, we were going left out of traffic lights. Again, you just moved and you didn't check your left mirror. So I'll say, I'm really happy the fact that you're checking your mirrors when you're into a new road. When you're changing your speed, you're checking it. But you're not doing it enough in terms of the routine, okay? So bear that in mind. I'm going to give you a major fault for that. I think you remember we were at a crossroad at Kingsley Road, turning right. You stopped on a cycle lane.
Yeah.
And
it's
again,
it suddenly changed lights.
But you should have planned ahead. You should have noticed there's only two cars.
You should have waited back.
Exactly. That lights may change, but credit to you, the lights change and I can see you're about to go, then you change your mind and stopped. So now it becomes a minor if I would have stopped you otherwise. But you're on top of a cycle lane.
It would become dangerous if I went.
Exactly, yeah, because it's red now, they're coming out.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give you a major, but plan ahead, please, yeah? So notice that there's only two cars and the lights may change. Okay, what else? Stalling, as you said, you stalled a few times.
Yeah.
And again, good thing about you stopped, you restart, the clutch goes down, restart the car. One time you let the car roll back a bit too much, but you did brake. I gave you the chance to brake. But if there was pedestrians on our left, had they walked around us, I would have stopped you. But then here now it's a major.
That one was a major, I know, because it was the middle of the road.
What happened? You just forgot to go back to one?
No, I was
You thought you
two.
could? You went two? Yeah.
I thought I was going to move off quick, but obviously I should know when it's a main road, you should always go to one because you're going to stop.
Yeah, and you were peeping and creeping, you were checking. It's just a shame you were in gear 2.
I know.
But then the next road you did it fine. You went back to 1, you were checking.
It was just a small, silly error that could have been a big error.
Yes, yeah. Okay, then we had the maneuver itself. So you're playing around with the steering wheel, trying to figure out if it's straight or not.
Yeah, yeah. At one point, I didn't know if it was on straight. 'Cause
Sure.
sometimes I can't tell.
The best way to do it, Sam, is when you move that slight movement and it tilts,
Yeah,
then
it
you know you're
moved a
not.
little bit,
You
yeah.
did. Then you corrected it in the end,
Yeah.
but initially you're just steering without
Yeah, yeah.
realizing. Okay, so that slight movement allowed you to realize, okay, you're not straight. You corrected it, but then as we did the maneuver, any ideas where you made the mistake? We tell you off for this quite a lot of times as
I
well.
didn't do my blind spot.
You didn't check it
On
at
the
all this
right.
time, at
This
all.
one?
Yeah,
I
at all
didn't
this
check
time.
it. I know. I realized after. I was like, shit, I didn't check my
So you
blind.
did. All right. So what else? We stopped. You remember we stopped on the main road twice. You moved off. You didn't even 6-4 check properly. Or you didn't double check. We waited for a long time.
Oh, what, when we stopped
Initially,
on the left?
yeah. So we're waiting a long time. I think you did it initially, then you didn't do
And
it
then with the
again.
second time, I indicated late as well.
But I'm not gonna fault you for that.
Okay.
Because what I'm gonna fault you before was, so you waited a long time. You should have double checked that right blind spot. You didn't. I made you pull over again. Now what went wrong? You moved without checking your left mirror.
Yeah.
I want to give you, you're on a main road moving across, not letting the cars behind you, you didn't indicate left mirrors, you didn't indicate left, so you didn't check your mirrors. Yeah, so that's a major fault.
Yeah.
And the reason why I stopped you, I wanted to see if you do your 6-1 check again, which you did this time around, all right? So
Second time I done.
credit to you, but look, you made a major fault for a mirror check, for
I know,
pulling up as well, nothing too difficult. Anything else? Checks were checks were fine. Windows up and down, moving without checking. Start of the test itself. Start of the test. We're on a little roundabout. You went through without looking right. Do you remember? Right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning.
Oh, I didn't look into the right.
Yeah. So there was a hedge and everything blocking your vision.
Yeah,
As you got there, I'm looking right. I didn't see you look right. So you would have
Is
felt
it the mini roundabout?
Mini
one?
roundabout.
Yeah, I remember,
It's actually quite common. The first 5-10 minutes of the test, students, you're thinking about the test itself. You let it go of your head. So, be focused on the first. It's really, really important, vital that you stay focused on the first 5 to 10 minutes, Sam. All right. So those are your major faults. So those are the mistakes. How do you think the test itself went for you, Sam?
I feel really calm, which was good. But yeah, there was just a few things that I did, and I was like, I realized straight away what I've done wrong.
Yeah.
So I just need to work on
I
little.
remember one situation, the amber change. You're good enough to react.
Yeah.
So there's
There's
definitely
good
positives.
Yeah.
There's definitely positives, and we just need to brush out the mirrors properly. What else?
Need to make sure I'm checking them more, and I need to.
Just plan ahead as well. Crossroad. We had stalling a few times.
Yeah.
We have to
More
also
than usual,
understand-
because I don't usually start
and that's the
like
part we're gonna make is we have to understand we came down after lockdown. Do you get me? We started without driving for 3 months, so that could be one of the reasons. It could be
Rusty.
the test. Yeah, it could be the test itself. The mock test is a bit nerve-wracking, even if it's with me.
Yeah.
So positives to take away, and the mistakes. It's good to make mistakes sometimes because you can learn from the mistakes.
Of course, yeah.
So remember, when you come onto a junction where you cannot see, go back to one. All right.
Yeah.
Let me just give you some hand sanitizer. There you go.
Cheers, man.
We have to be safe. Alright, Sam, so have you got any questions for me? Or, what did you feel about the test
I've
itself?
got a few questions. One of them, if I'm on a roundabout,
Yeah.
and let's say I've got to turn right, I'm taking like the 4th exit.
Yeah.
I will indicate right when I'm waiting to join the roundabout.
Yeah.
But is there a point where I need to indicate left to come off the roundabout?
Yeah. So in your theory, it always says the exit before. So if you're taking the 4th exit, as soon as you pass the 3rd exit, you check your interior left, indicate left, and if it's possible, move into the far left lane.
Yeah.
If not, stick to the middle lane and come off. But yes, if it's a 4th, the 3rd. So if it's a 3rd exit you're taking, you're taking the 3rd when you indicate.
So if I'm taking the 3rd one, I'll indicate after the 2nd one.
Exactly.
Once
yeah.
I've moved into the lane. Or
No,
I indicate to move into the lane.
Yeah. Or to come off.
Yeah.
What do you do before you indicate?
You check over
Mirrors, yeah.
mirrors,
Which is your weakness, Sam, alright?
I know.
So at the vital point, check your mirrors. Mirror signal maneuver. Okay.
Another question I have is to do with maneuvers.
Yeah.
How many maneuvers am I likely to have to do in a test?
Okay.
And which one is most likely?
Okay,
to be
so
chosen?
there's 3 maneuvers. Bay parking, If the test centre has bays, you'll be expected to reverse into the bay as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you take it into a car park, it'll be forward bay parking.
Yeah.
You would have parallel park, which is the one we did today.
Yeah.
What did you fail on again?
Checking my
Blind spot, exactly. And then you have parking on the right, reversing 2 cars length, and then moving off. Okay, so it could be any three, or any 4 if you have to do the reverse bay parking.
Yeah.
So the examiner will pick it himself randomly. So we don't know. That's why we have to practice all of them.
Yeah.
And just for the people out there, the emergency stop doesn't count as a maneuver. That's an additional
Okay.
exercise.
I actually thought it was.
No.
Okay,
So
so that's good to know.
so you'll be doing 1 maneuver and possibly the emergency stop. It's I
Okay.
think 1 out of every 5th or 4th person gets it. It doesn't
So
count as a
if you're
maneuver.
lucky, yeah.
Or
You have to
yeah,
be lucky.
exactly. Yeah,
Uh,
that's it. Anything else?
yeah. So if I'm driving and I'm
Yeah.
stopping, I always don't know whether to apply my handbrake.
Yeah.
And in the test, do you have to apply your handbrake every time you stop?
Okay. So the way we teach, if you notice, I do sometimes say put the handbrake up. But as you gain more and more experience, you'll notice, okay, the lights are going to change. We approached it, say, at red. As we stop, it might quickly change. So be ready that it's going to change. So we might say first go to gear 1 first. Then we might say put the handbrake. We might not put it at all. As you get more and more experience, in the exam, you don't have to put the handbrake up at all. It's your choice. Because you might be able to control the car.
Unless you're on like a hill or something.
Even then, it's your choice.
Oh, really?
Because
So
you
if
might
you
be,
can control it.
if you can, exactly, you might be really experienced and be able to control the car just with the clutch control. But
Yeah.
that's really dangerous, all right? Because one slight movement backwards, if there's cars behind, you may get faulted, maybe even a major fault, Sam. You get me? That's why we teach you, put the handbrake, have a good habit. With the handbrake, also you can move your feet to the gas and you're quick to move off.
Yeah.
You're already straight away at the bind point, ready to press the gas. If you don't put the handbrake, as I say, it's not wrong. The examiner don't mark it down as long as you have control of the car.
Okay.
But as a learner, you have to understand, you might have taken 20 lessons, 30 lessons, maybe 40. Someone with 10 years of driving experience compared to someone with 20 years of driving, a lot more control of the car, and you wouldn't. So bear that in mind.
Yeah.
The way we teach, keep it with the handbrake for now, Sam.
Yeah.
Other instructors might teach without the
to be
handbrake.
safe, that's
Exactly, yeah. So anyway, well done today, Sam. It was really good mock test for yourself to see as well.
Yeah.
Extremely useful for us.
I thought it was very useful for me as well.
And we can see,
I can see where areas are majors and
Yeah,
minors
yeah.
and like where I'm going wrong and like what I need to improve on.
but normally you don't stall, and normally
I
you're
know.
good with the mirror checkings.
Yeah.
Normally you do your routine. Today you didn't.
Maybe it was that added pressure, which you need to know to handle in the test.
So Sam made a really interesting point about how to handle the pressure, which is completely true. Obviously, you have to be in the pressure scenario, and the only way you're going to do it is by A, doing the mock test, or B, doing the test itself. As well as really good questions about the driving itself. So hopefully that was useful for you guys. Again, as I said, thank you to Sam for taking part in the mock test, and for all of you guys out there, comment below, let me know how your test is going, if you've done a mock test or if you've done a real test, and if you failed, for example, what are the reasons you failed on. Let us know about your experiences. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.